we just want to talk to you very briefly first about our exciting news, because we're really, really thrilled to be able to announce, as Tim says, that we are now releasing our second module to the Ascension Toolkit, all about crystals, unsurprisingly. So a lot of you, thank you so much, have purchased the main module for the Ascension Toolkit, which was all about energy, what it is, personal energy management, the Ascension, and kind of everything that you really need to know to become a master of your energy. So thank you so much to everybody that's signed up, and for all the wonderful feedback that we've had. It's been amazing. So thank you for that. But our goal with the Ascension Toolkit was always to create, as we say, these modules. So the idea is that we can create little individual releases of different types of content about different subjects. And then you guys can come on and you can pick and choose what it is that you want to learn about and just grab the modules that you want.
Yes.
So, as I say, we've got the existing one about energy management, and we are very excited to say that by the end of the session tonight, we will launch it officially. At the end, we have a new crystal module available.
We'll be pressing the magic button.
We will be. That's it.
That's the exciting part, isn't it? It's like,
yeah.
That's it. It's all live.
I love it. So the way crystals is something that Tim and I are both very passionate about. I mean, we're sitting here both with one in our hand again. We absolutely love them, and our experience has come, both of us individually, very much through a life experience this time, working with them intuitively and learning and practicing, and through past life knowledge, particularly from kind of Atlantis and other eras that have inspired us, and memories of how they were used in the past. And what we wanted to do with with this Ascension Toolkit module is really kind of break down the kind of, I guess, some of the misconceptions, I think, about crystals.
The complexities.
That's a better way of saying it. Thank you, Tim. Because I think, a lot of people do approach it from, it's quite a complicated way, and you have to have all this training, and you've got to do all these different things and stuff like that.
Paper for it.
Yeah. But you know what? The biggest crystal masters that we have on this planet are children.
Yeah.
And you know what? And the reason why is because they have no rules. They don't play by a playbook, and they just use their intuition.
They do.
And they're just guided through it. They just pick them up and they do whatever they feel like doing with them. And that is the ultimate premise behind working with crystals. And that's what we're kind of really trying to instill throughout this process. The module kind of includes a lot of information, about what crystals are and the history of them in Atlantis and stuff like that, and some of the common uses of them. And we include some guidelines on how to do them, how to grid them, how to program, how to record, all of these different really useful, how to cleanse them, all these really useful kind of day-to-day stuff.
Yeah.
But ultimately, the most powerful thing you have is your intuition. And just tap it to your third eye and away you go.
That's it. And rock and roll.
That's it. And really learning to trust, as with everything. Crystals is exactly the same. Exactly the same with the personal management stuff, with your living your day-to-day life, living your Ascension process, whatever it is that you're doing. It's just about following your own guidance and learning to trust yourself, and then just really practice. Just do that. And the more you work with crystals, the more in tune that you will become, the more you will flow.
That's exactly it. Now, simplicity is key. Okay, what you will notice for those of you that embark on working with the module that David and I have created is that we have taken what can be very complicated subjects because it can seem overwhelming. I mean, if say for the sake of example, you walk into a crystal shop, you will be almost overwhelmed by what you are presented with. How do you choose your crystal? What are you being guided to? Or what colour does what? What name is this? What meaning is that? And ultimately, the way we're looking at it is that there is very little relevance into overcomplicating how you work with crystals. So David and I are explaining what I have found and what David has found to be the easiest route to working with them, based on not only what we have learnt during this incarnation, but what we're also recalling from our previous incarnations.
The Ascension Toolkit module is there. It will be released by the end of the night, and hopefully, it will really help kind of enable you to work with crystals on a day-to-day basis in a more easy, fluid, and natural, intuitive way. That's really our goal with it.
Confidence.
That's it.
The ultimately, what I've seen, particularly over the years, is people picking up crystals and not knowing what to do with them. And conscious level, people, I don't know what to do. I could pick this up and go, what do I do with that? It's a crystal. It looks pretty. It feels nice in my hand. I have a terrible addiction with them anyway, sort of thing. But ultimately, one of the first questions was, well, what do I do with this crystal? How's it working for me? And then I was introduced to an incredible field of information, most of which was unhelpful, because I was taking all of this in and I wasn't listening to my own intuition. Okay, so when the simplicity of what we are presenting with the work that David and I have brought through together is about refining your process and being confident with what you are using, because if you are overburdened with information and different ways to do it and how to do it and what it's supposed to be doing and what you're not receiving, then immediately you're going to be having what would be an unfulfilling experience. So it's down to each and every one of us using crystals to become attuned to the way in which they communicate with us, because everybody's different.
That's it. Everyone will have their own unique experience with them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What I will just say, one thing the toolkit module is an A to Z of crystals,
No.
Because there are tons of resources out there that are absolutely fantastic. So if you want to dive into the specific properties for particular crystals, there's loads of really great books. There's online resources for these
crystal
things.
Bibles, and what each type of crystal does, whether it's Atlantean, whether it's Lemurian, whether it's this is where things become very heady, I find, and energetically, it's for me, it's always detracted a little bit from the process of just using the crystal and tuning into what it has, what gifts it has, what information it has, what companionship. In many cases, people connect with crystals and they find a friendship because the crystal has connected them to a source of energy or light which they were struggling to tune into previously. And sometimes that's exactly what we need.